Hey Biz Bestie, welcome back to the show. And today we are going to be talking about some of my favorite tips when it comes to high level networking. Now, these are not your regular, figure out your 30-second story and these beginner tips. If you have never networked, that's okay. We love our beginners who are learning how to network and how to connect. But this is for those of you that are seasoned, that you know the value of building your network and what it can do not only for your business, but for your connections, for your net worth, even for your net work. Now, I just recently left a really high level networking event, and Brendon Burchard was there, and he is an incredible connector, has an incredible network, literally has Oprah and Tony Robbins that he could just call or text at any time. And he was talking about this really amazing concept of when you actually understand the power of networking. And if you do it not just for yourself, but you actually expand your network for your network, then you get to a whole new level. Now, I love this concept because this is it's really others focused, which is one of our cornerstones. We really come to give and to serve and not just to take and exploit a group or a community. So our girls know and understand this, and this is a part of our culture. And so I loved what Brandon said. It kind of gave language for what we were naturally and intuitively doing, just kind of saying it in a different way. But when you network not only for yourself, but you network for your network. So this means that you are actually making connections to connect other people, not just making connections for yourself, that you have this bigger, grander vision. Then what actually ends up happening is, a whole 6 degrees of separation, it actually gets a lot smaller for you a lot quicker. And when you intentionally put yourself into rooms to connect with other people that you can connect other people with. So this might be, hey, perfect. You walk into a room, you meet someone new, and maybe they have a product or a service that you wouldn't necessarily need, but you're you know what? I actually know someone that would be a great referral for you. I'm going to connect you. So now all of a sudden you become the biggest connector in the room. That is a whole nother level of networking, and that's what it means to be a high level networker. Now, another one of my favorite tips is to get into rooms where you are the dumbest person in the room, not the smartest person in the room. And I say this in the best way possible, right? For me, before I understood this concept, I was I was a lot more insecure in the past, and it was almost this, okay, well, I have to pretend I know everything and I'm this expert, and I have to talk about all of my qualifications and certifications, and it's this, you're the expert in the room, which those rooms are good and needed and necessary. There are rooms that I'm the expert in and I'm the leader in, which is great. And I'm also very, very intentional about getting in rooms around people that think bigger than me, that have bigger businesses than me, that have bigger podcasts, that have bigger email lists, that have bigger followings, that they just think bigger. They know they are further along in the journey. And so for me to get in those rooms, you typically have to pay to play, but it will actually be the fastest track to your expansion, more so than being the smartest person in the room. And so I actually love walking into rooms where I'm the small fish in a big pond, and I am the dumbest person in the room. And I don't try and hide that. I am just you have so much you could, I could learn from you. I am here to receive. I'm here to serve. I still know that I can offer value, and wow, I honor those that are going before me, and getting into rooms where I'm the dumbest person in the room. So I love that tip. The next one is to be responsible for the energy that you bring to the room. Now, this means if whatever has happened before you walk into that room, you actually get to if you had a bad day and your kid puked on you and whatever, and you're all the things happened this morning and whatever, you could bring that anxious, frazzled energy into the room with you, or you can take a beat, leave that at the door. Obviously, when you leave and if you pick that back up, that's up to you. But when you walk into the room, be responsible for the energy that you bring into the room. If you're tired, doesn't matter anymore. If you are feeling crappy, doesn't matter anymore. Not that it doesn't matter, like your feelings matter, but I want you to actually take responsibility for the energy that you bring into the room, because people are going to feel your magnetism, or they're going to feel you sucking the life out of them. They're going to feel your anxiety, or they're going to feel your groundedness and your peace. They're going to feel like your honor and excitement to meet them, or they're going to feel your I don't really want to be here. I have a million other things going on. So be responsible for the energy that you bring into the room. Another one of my favorite tips is to play the long game when it comes to being in a networking group, when it comes to being in community. I think a lot of people, they kind of can fall into the natural trap of, okay, like, we all want microwave success, and we all want microwave results, and we all want the six-pack abs without doing the work, and we all want the big business without having to pay the cost of actually growing the business. And it doesn't work that way, especially with community and especially with connections, especially with growing your network. So if you're going to be in community, be in community. I have another episode of, it's called Let Community Be in Community and Let Community Be in You. And this is kind of that same concept. So play the long game when it comes to your connections, when it comes to being involved in your community, because there's something that happens that instead of just like going once, and sure, you might make a handful of really good connections and you might follow up with them afterwards, which is great. But there's something that happens that when you go back again and you go back again and you start to see those people and they start to become like, oh yeah, like you're excited to see them. And then all of a sudden they're excited to see you. And like you start to have some accountability and like, hey, like what's the last update from what was going on in your business and how your family, you start to get to know them and you start to spend time with them. Because here's the thing when it comes to relationship is that what brings people with like, what deepens relationship is actually like one of the main precursors is actually time spent. And so when you see like really good friends that are, you know, like you look at their picture and they're doing fun things together, having a good fun girls weekend, or they're in their pajamas and they're whatever, and you're like, oh, like I want that so bad. What actually has just furthered their relationship is time. So there is time spent. They've gone through some stuff together, and it's because they're willing to put in the work to grow and to foster that relationship. So allow community, or be in community and allow it to be in you, and invest in the long term. The return on investment, the ROI, when you play the long game, it will take longer to come back to you, but it will come back 20-fold, 10-fold, 20-fold, 100-fold over just going into an event one time and meeting a few people, and then you're just out because you're like, you felt uncomfortable for the first time and you didn't make that great of connections, or you were just kind of shy the first time and you just maybe met a couple people. It's like, no, go back again. Like allow the long-term investment and the long-term ROI be a part of your game plan. Now, does it mean that everyone's going to be in your inner circle? No. And that's okay. But it does mean that you are going to foster and grow and play the long game with your connections and with your relationship. The next tip here that I love, and this one actually, I love to call this one networking up. And I did a whole nother episode on this, probably towards the beginning of the podcast, maybe even within the first 10 episodes or so. But this one is that you actually intentionally connect with the person in the room that intimidates you the most. And this can be kind of scary a little bit. We actually do these in our networking events with Business and Bubbly. And I love this concept because it actually challenges them. Like, it's like, okay, you got to put your big girl panties on and you're going to actually walk up to the woman that intimidates you the most. And you're going to intentionally connect with them. And this can feel a little scary, can feel a little awkward, but what I can tell you is when I started doing this, and even say maybe there's no one in the room, in the audience, that is intimidating you, but maybe it's the speaker or the organizer or the celebrity, whoever influencer that's in the room, that's leading from the front of the room, and they're your next challenge, or they're the next one that you're like, okay, I'm going to go talk to them. Like, oh, like they're the one who you kind of like shrink back a little bit from. I actually want you to lean into that and go talk to them, because when I have done this has been one of the fastest ways that I've grown my network with really high level leaders and influencers. But it's also been the way that I have been able to not just grow my network the fastest, but also get out of, like, be comfortable getting out of my comfort zone, right? This is the training wheels of getting out of your comfort zone, facing that thing that you maybe want to shrink back a little bit, but you actually go right for it anyways. Facing that thing that makes you want to like you can pucker up a little bit and you're like, I'm going to go for it anyways. So this is just that split moment of, no, you know what? I'm going to do it afraid anyways. And the more that you can get comfortable with that feeling and doing that in every area of your life, whether it is making a big ask, whether it is making a big connection, whether it is making a big decision for your business, doing that, leaning into that fear and not shrinking back is actually going to be one of the biggest expanders for you when it comes to your growth. All right. I actually have a handful more tips for you, but you are going to have to tune into the next episode of Business and Bubbly, because I'm splitting this into 2 episodes. I want to make these ones really quick, really applicable. So make sure that you tune into the next episode, because we are also going over the rest of my favorite tips for high level networking. And if you are a high level networker, if you are a connector in your area, I actually want to connect with you. Applications are officially open for chapter directors in your area. We are looking for high level, high connectors, leading women who you have an established business. You know that speaking and leading from the front of the room instead of being involved in the room, like, you know that is your next step, not to just be involved in the room, but to now lead the room, that you're ready to go from being involved to being influential. This is for you. And applications for chapter directors are officially open. I want to talk to you if this is going to be a good fit for you. This isn't going to take away from your other job. Our other directors, they are realtors, they are photographers, they are coaches, they are they're social media managers. They are doing incredible things in their community. And what we love about this opportunity of being a chapter director is that this actually tends to be somewhat of like the front end of a funnel for them. It's like one of our gals, she's a realtor and she is killing it. And there's a bazillion realtors out there. We all know a bazillion realtors, but she is the go-to realtor in her space because she went from being involved in all of the networking groups to leading a networking group. And now all of the girls know her as the go-to realtor in her area. And so if this is for you, or if that is like, ooh, I want to be that, like I want to be that go-to, I want to be seen and heard and known in a much bigger way. I know I'm called to lead and to speak from the front of the room and to build community, or maybe you already are building community, but you're tired of doing it alone. You're tired of doing it from scratch and you want to be a part of something bigger. Like, this is the most fun part about what it is that we're doing, is that you actually get to the chance to be a part of something bigger. You're not this isolated silo building community in your own area. You're actually a part of a nationwide networking company that literally, think about this. Like, I want you just to envision this with me for a minute. Is all of a sudden there's girls in Florida, all of a sudden there's girls in California, all of a sudden there's girls in Canada. I'm talking to some girls in Canada about opening some chapters there. All of a sudden there's girls in Alabama, and there's girls in Utah, and there's girls in Idaho. And all of a sudden you now have this greater network of connections, right? You're networking not just for you, but you're networking for your network. And imagine what that could do for you, for your business, for your network, for your leadership skills, for your speaking skills, for your facilitation skills. Like, this is an incredible opportunity. And if your heart is like leaping out of your chest at the opportunity of what this could be for you and for your business and for you to grow as a speaker and a leader, then I want to talk to you. All you have to do is go to businessandbubbly.com, click the button that says apply to lead a chapter, and fill out the application. If you're going to be a good fit, we'll reach out, we'll schedule a call, and we can chat with you about the possibility of you leading a chapter. We give profitable community frameworks so that you are making hundreds and even thousands of dollars per monthly event, a 2-hour event. One of my directors, she just made $1,700 for a 2-hour event. and a little bit of social media management in between. Like, our girls are crushing it. The time has never been better than right now to build community. But here's the thing. If you want to go fast, you can absolutely go alone. But if you want to go far, and if you want to make, and not just a nationwide, but we're on the, like, we have like worldwide impact on our radar. If you want to make not just nationwide impact, but you want to make worldwide impact and be a part of something bigger than what you could ever do on your own, then being a director could be for you. So go to businessandbubbly.com, click the button that says apply to lead a chapter, fill out the application, and if you're a good fit, we'll schedule a call and we can see about the possibility of what it could look like for you to lead a chapter in your area. I have no doubt that if you're listening to this still, that you have a puzzle piece of what it looks like to build a community and the desire to build a community. I have a puzzle piece. All of our directors, they all have a puzzle piece. There's a lot of women right now creating community. They all have puzzle pieces, but you can either stay with your one little puzzle piece that you have, or you can bring your puzzle piece and we can all build something together. And that, my friend, is when we go far. All right. So I'd love to talk to you. Go to businessandbubbly.com, click the apply to lead a chapter in your area, and let's chat. And then tune in to our next episode for the rest of my favorite tips for high level networking. Cheers to your success. And as always, I believe in you. I am here for you. I am cheering you on. You belong. And I'm so, so proud of you. We'll talk to you next time. Thank you so much for listening to the show. I hope it brought some value and some fun into your business and life. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast, and even share the episode with a fellow business bestie who you know will love it. It helps us continue to attract top-level guests and reach more and more women who are on their journey in business just like you. Remember that when money gets in the hands of good women, great things happen. Cheers to your success.